Ableton 12.1 just came out recently, and one of the major updates was to the limiter. Now with 3 modes, we have standard, soft clip, and true peak. We also have a maximize mode, which allows you to reduce the dynamic range but increase the loudness using this threshold right here. And they also added a new mid-side routing mode as well. So let's jump over and hear this thing in action. When I saw that Ableton added a soft clip mode to this limiter, I got excited. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Ableton has a dedicated soft clipper now.
You are fake news.
So here is the updated limiter in all of its glory. And this beat in particular, I have the 808 smashing into a soft clipper. So that was the point of this beat, was to have really loud 808s. And I wanted to test out the soft clipper and see how that sounded on here. Now, is this just a soft clip added to the limiter, or does it change it into a soft clipper completely? Let's see what Ableton has to say. It allows you to choose an alternative operation for limiter, so that makes me think that it actually is a soft clipper. Soft clip will introduce some gentle clipping when signals approach the ceiling level, whereas true peak will prevent inter-sample peaks. So we have soft clip, true peak, and our standard mode, which is going to be most like the previous version of the limiter. Let's just let's turn soft clip mode on and let's listen to what's going on. As you can see, we're smashing almost 6 dBs of gain reduction just going into this. We haven't pushed the input gain whatsoever. That seems to flatten out the 808 sound more right there. Let's try this maximize mode. That sounds pretty good, but I wanted to bring out Ableton's glue compressor because I've used this for the longest time for soft clipping. And what I would do is I would just grab the glue compressor, turn the soft clip mode off, and then I turn the range all the way down to 0 so that it's not going to be doing any compression. And now I just want to test what this sounds like, this limiter, compared to this glue compressor. Now I did bring this down to negative 1.8 dBs here, so that is going to make it overall louder. So let's take a listen. You immediately hear a huge difference, right? And even if we were to crank this even louder, even if we turn the release all the way down, let's go with the other route. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't really feel like that's a true soft clip. And if it is, maybe it's combining it with the limiter, or maybe the slope of the soft clip just isn't that soft. Pause. And let's test the soft clipper rack as well. This fuzzy preset right here is very, very similar to the FL Studio soft clipper, but using Ableton stock plugins, the saturator. Let's turn this back down. Let's turn this all the way to 0. Definitely don't like how that sounds compared to this. This is the glue compressor one. The problem is when you bring this down, it really drowns out the 808 quick. So yeah, I do not think it's good for that 808 purpose right there. And if you guys are curious about this soft clipper rack, this is just all of my favorite clipper settings using stock Ableton plugins and a couple like M4L devices as well. And this is only in the VIP area for my VIP members. If you're interested in learning about the VIP, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. It's a lot more than just effect racks. It's tutorials, drum kits, and all kinds of stuff to get you making way better beats. Let's test out the true peak versus the standard limiter on a different project where the 808 isn't just busting straight through the mix like that. And on this beat, I am using a soft clipper here. We're doing 2 dBs of input, but then we're doing a limiter to get the final last little bit out of it here. And we're using the ozone limiter, and you can see I have the threshold down to -2. So this will be nice to compare the Ableton to the ozone. Let's go ahead and maximize on this one, and we'll bring the threshold down -2. We'll go ahead and turn auto on as well. Do Do you hear any difference between those? Let's test the limiter's standard mode versus the ozone. Let's also turn the release down a lot. Let's try out the true peak. So regardless how you feel of those different modes and how they sound, it's definitely an improvement upon the original limiter. And there's so many different updates here, like the maximizing mode now and the routing to mid-side. Also, the metering looks so much better now. All things that we're grateful that Ableton keeps improving. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Is it a hit or a miss? And if you want to see all of the updates that are in 12.1, watch this video next because there's a ton of them.